Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energy and predictions for the sign of Libra for the month of May. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Libra, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you and see what's coming forward for you here in this brand new month of May 2025. I do hope your April was amazing, and I hope May is even better for you. We'll go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Wow, interesting reading here for us fellow Libras. Okay, I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom. You have the Tower. Okay, so the Tower, at first glance, it may, it presents a striking image, right? This person's falling from the tower, lightning's hitting the tower, tower's collapsing, right? Yes, the tower can represent destruction. It can represent shocks and upheavals in one's life. But the tower basically exposes a false belief, okay? There may be something in your situation that needs to be exposed so that you can then be placed on the path towards truth. Another way of looking at this is it's better to live in truth than to live in falsehoods, okay? Another way of looking at this as well is this person here was trapped in the tower, and they're now being released from whatever they were trapped in, from whatever was holding them back or restricting them, so to speak. And so when you get the Tower in a reading like this, okay, all of these cards basically are extremely positive. You have some very, very positive cards here, okay? When you get the Tower in combination with cards like you have here, this can be quite a good sign for you coming up here in May. It's never easy to deal with something that is, it's never easy to deal with an upheaval, but you can deal with it, right? This is something that you can handle. You are ready to take on whatever's put forward here on your path. This is going to be a very surprising month, maybe for some, dare I say, shocking month. This is going to be a busy month. I think for many people here, it's been, I'm like halfway through the readings now. It's like a theme for many of the readings. This is going to be a busy month here in May, but a very positive month. All of the readings have been great, and yours is too. So let's go ahead and, by the way, things are going to move quickly potentially here in May for you. Let's get into it here. So in the middle of the reading, you have the Two of Cups. So this situation could be involving your relationship. The Two of Cups indicates a significant person in your life, whether this is someone you're dating or otherwise. It can represent a partnership. But this is really the best love card in the tarot from my perspective, especially when you have it combined here with the Ace of Cups. This is a soul connection, okay? If you believe in like soulmates or twin flames, if that's something that you subscribe to, that would be the Two of Cups. This is somebody that you feel a very, very deep connection to. Maybe is another way of saying it. It's two people, two souls here linking up in this lifetime. So it can really speak to new love, especially when you have the Ace of Cups with it, right? So it's possible here that some of you, the single people here, you may meet a significant person. If you are putting yourself out there, if you're maybe going on the dating world, the dating apps, whatever, with the Eight of Wands, we'll talk about that more. This may be somebody who is far away from you. Okay, you may meet this person online, or you may have met this person online. They may live in another country as well, as you have that Eight of Wands. But there may be a change if you are in a relationship. The thing is, it feels really positive, okay? So like, there may just be an upheaval or a change or something like this. I know that's a bit strange to say, but it feels positive. Like, Yeah, it feels very positive if that's happening. Now, on the business end, you have some good messages as well. There may be a situation with somebody that you've gone into partnership with. Let's go ahead and dive in further. You have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Justice card in the first column. So I've talked about this Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, amazing combination for love, probably the best combination, especially for new love. This is like the start of a romance, okay? Especially with the Ace of Wands, this could be very, very passionate between the two of you, for sure. And the King of Wands, for sure, for sure. Will it last forever? That is to be determined with the King and the Ace of Wands, for sure. This could be quick fling, this could be summer romance type energy, travel fling, whatever, right? These things could show up when you get the Ace of Wands, King of Wands, for sure. But it doesn't mean that it has to be that, right? But this is just something that you look at. You could be starting a new relationship, or the relationship that you're in could be changing. Like the flavor, the vibration of the relationship is changing in some way. Here, I don't see breakup, but I do see walking away. So it depends on how you want to spin the words here, and I'll talk about that more in this final column. So there could be something happening there. So the walking away, that would be for people in a current relationship. For the single people, this seems very good. Seems very, very positive. On the business end, you have the Ace of Wands. This is the perfect card. You have two great combinations, Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, and then you have Ace of Wands, King of Wands. Ace of Wands, King of Wands is an incredible combination for the entrepreneurs out there, the people who want to be business owners, okay? Or the people who want some autonomy in their career. They want to own something in their career, right? This is an incredible combination for starting a side hustle that turns into a real full-blown business, or even just starting a full-blown business. This is very, very good. And this could be something that you are totally aligned with, as the Ace of Cups is there as well. Like, it's not just making sense business-wise, but it's also making sense for your happiness here, as you have that Ace of Cups as well on the in the reading, okay, above the Ace of Wands. So for those of you who are looking to light that business flame, to light that business fire, the Ace of Wands is the card you want to get, for sure. You could feel very inspired, invigorated, energized around starting something. You then have the Justice card here, which can, well, that's the Libra card, okay, in the tarot. So the universe doubling down here, saying that this is, you are front and center here. It does seem like there's another person involved, obviously, with the Two of Cups, but it's almost like some of you are ready to steer your life in your direction. Here, the Justice card represents karma. With the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, Justice can indicate like a karmic relationship. Again, you have to subscribe to this. There are multiple types of karmic relationships, one of which is a twin flame or a soulmate. Some past life connection, maybe. Not everybody's into that, but the Justice card, it represents karma in other areas too. So karma is just your actions in life, the result of your actions, really. And it may say as well that you need to balance something out here. Let's move forward. You have the King of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. So the King of Wands is the classic entrepreneur. The Ace of Wands is the spark that the King of Wands wants to light. Okay, the Ace of Wands is the spark that the King of Wands wants to light. The King of Wands is the entrepreneur. If you're not a business owner, you're not interested in being self-employed, this is somebody who's in a job because they want to be in a job, not because they have to be. This is many times, many cases, this is the most skilled person in the room, the most talented person in the room, okay? They can always get a job, always. But the thing is, they don't need to get a job because they have their sort of pick, okay? They have their pick. Everybody wants to work with the King of Wands. This person exudes passion in whatever it is that they do, if they are traditionally employed, but many times they're like, well, I can just do this on my own, so I'll be an entrepreneur type energy. So for some of you here, this is a big timeline on the business area. And I think maybe some of you are thinking about, do I need to bring someone in, right? Like if I own a business, if I'm a business owner or whatever, do I need to bring someone in to help me with this? And some of you may come to the conclusion that you do not with the Two of Cups, because you want to own something. Like it's yours, it's your baby, right? Like there's something you really want to own here on the work side. And it's almost like maybe with this Eight of Swords, you're not exactly seeing how another person can fit into this scenario. Eight of Swords feels like the Eight of Swords, they're trapped. Okay, they're trapped in this sword imprisonment here. And they're blindfolded. The Tower releases this person, really. You can think of it this way. So usually this Eight of Swords is about the thoughts that are running through your mind, like being trapped in your thoughts, and trying to work through stuff like that. In the final column, you have the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Moon. Okay. So this is where the reading gets interesting. I will say there are some fears here, okay? Eight of Swords, feeling like you need to communicate, but feeling like a little restricted. And then the Moon can speak to fears and anxieties. It can also mean that there's something missing or hidden that you need to look at, okay? Especially with the Tower, for sure. And so, like, is there something that you need to get clear on? The Tower could expose that thing with the Moon and the Tower, for sure. So I feel like for some of you here, there's a little bit of like anxiety or fear around relationship stuff, for sure. With the Two of Cups, maybe you are afraid of like deeper intimacy, something like this, okay? Like there's a opportunity to go deeper with a person, but maybe you're a little bit, there's something there that maybe you're working through. Maybe somebody's or you are ready to take it to the next level in the relationship, but there's some fears or something like this holding you back. You need some time to process, whatever the case may be. You may feel like you need to walk away with the Eight of Cups. This person, though, is walking towards their dreams. This person's walking towards a really positive timeline. Usually the Eight of Cups is very positive, okay, because they're letting go of the pain and the heartbreak and the challenges of the past, and they're moving forward. They're charting a new course forward for themselves. So whether this is connected to another person that you're involved in or not, it will depend on your situation, okay? I do see that some of you could be walking away from someone. That it's possible, but this is an interesting reading because it's like maybe the relationship started very quickly, something like this. There's a lot of passion, and now you're like taking a step back, something like this. This is why I like to clarify the cards, because in a reading like this, I need to get some clarifications to see what's going on there. You then have the Eight of Wands. There's a breakthrough. See, this is what I'm saying. So like at the same time, there's a breakthrough. There's some sort of like new communication coming in, or some sort of like this idea of the clouds clearing. The Eight of Wands can indicate accelerated motion, things moving ahead, communication from a distance, and travel by flight. This is why I'm saying, like, for some of you around this relationship stuff, this person may not be close to you, like physically, like in close proximity to you. They may be in another place. All right, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start to get into the clarifications here. We'll start off by pulling some oracle cards and see what's going on in the oracle messages for us Libras. Let's see what we have here. All right, we'll take those. Take those four, and then we'll also take that one and take a look at the energy on the bottom. You have Lady Portia, Divine Order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. Okay. Interesting wrinkle here to the timeline. So you may feel like you want to let go of this situation, okay, with the Eight of Cups, but it's hard to do that. And I would say the cards are asking you what do you feel about this? Like really investigate what your feelings are saying. Let's see what we have here. You actually pulled 5 cards here. So you have Gaia, Earth Connection, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth and stay grounded. You have Serapis Bay, move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is here. And then you have Odin, Psychic Insight, your third eye is open, see truth for what it is, follow your intuition. There's a strong message of you already knowing this answer that you have to make. But there's some like fear that is preventing you from making the choice, okay? Whether this is staying or going, starting the business, not starting the business, staying in the job, not staying in the job, whatever it is, like you already actually know the answer. But fear is preventing you from, I think, moving forward here. Yeah, here it is again. Katumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer. You seek, trust what you know. I mean, you're seeing this, right? Like all of these cards are the similar message. As well as Lord Shiva, Transcendence, Rise Up, Honor Your Inner Force. Again, steps are being given, dance with the universe. I mean, all of these cards are in some way saying the same thing. Trust what you know. You already have the answer. Follow your intuition. Move into your true self. Stay grounded. Do what you feel is right. Right? All of these sorts of things are similar. So, what is the term? Oh, geez, the term is escaping me. If I come up with the phrase that I'm looking for here, it's like indecision, right? I feel like is holding you back because you already have the answer, but you're not taking action on it. Analysis paralysis is what I'm looking for. I think some of you are involved in analysis paralysis. I'm a fellow Libra, okay, so I get it. Let's go ahead and get into the tarot clarifications. I do appreciate you being here, Libra. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well. You have the Hierophant, okay? You have the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Wands again. Incredible. If you're here for business or work, you're pulling some incredible cards here. You really are. Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, the Hierophant. The Hierophant can be your place of employment, particularly if you work for a large company. But it really speaks to tradition. But I'll get to that. I'll get back to the Hierophant in a second. The Ace of Wands I've already spoken about is really that spark that the King of Wands needs to light in order to see where this business can go, or to start this business, whatever it may be, or to start this new career path or this new career venture. And the Page of Wands, it represents an offer. Okay? I do think some of you here have some, interesting. I do think some of you here have some like work offers, work timelines here. You have some choices to make in work, in career, in business. You have the Libra card, yeah, here with the Justice card, and it's sort of like you're balancing everything out. You're weighing all the options. The Justice card can indicate weighing your options, seeing the pros and cons, looking at everything. And it's almost like there's maybe even some rumination here, but you already have the answer. So like you're thinking, you're going through everything, but you at the root of all of this is that it's almost like you already know. Okay, you already know what you have to do in business, and in love as well. The Page of Wands represents an offer, opportunity in work. This can be a job offer, but it can also be just an invitation to start something or to even travel, to go on an adventure. It's an exciting card. In the love timeline, the Hierophant can represent marriage. Okay, it's one of the traditional marriage cards here with the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups. For some of you, maybe this is an important thing. It's either important to you or it's important to the other person. Let's see what goes on there. You have the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands, and you have the Fool. So we have a bunch of aces, right? We have 3 aces and the Fool. The Fool is like all 4 aces in one card. It's a very strong card, maybe the strongest card in the tarot, because it starts off the Fool's journey through the tarot. So when you get the Fool, it is a powerful new beginning. You have that with the 8 of Swords. It's like you are restricted here. Okay, the Fool has no restrictions. The Fool is ground zero. There's no restrictions. There's nothing before the Fool. Right? It's like a child being born, you could think of, the Fool. So when you get this card, it's like sometimes you just have to leap forward without knowing where you're going. And some of you are really craving a new beginning, whether this is in your relationship or in work. You're really craving a fresh start here. And I think there's an opportunity for you to do this, but something is holding you back, and I think that something is fear, or it's like analysis paralysis, it's indecision, something like this happening. And probably all of that is derived from fear. if I'm just looking at this. You then have the Two of Wands, massive potential in front of you, like massive, massive potential here. Even with somebody potentially, you know, in love, if you're meeting somebody or you're already in a relationship here with the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands, there could be a serious potential between the two of you. That is for sure. That's why I like to clarify, especially with the Hierophant card indicating marriage. King of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Whatever you're starting work and career-wise, this needs to be long-term. Okay, this needs to be something that you manicure. You know, this needs to be something that you marinate, that you allow to grow and cook the way it needs to cook. Like, for sure, with this Seven of Pentacles. Wow, you have that Eight of Cups again. You have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Swords. You know what? I rarely do this, but I'm going to get some more because, look, the thing about this love situation, it's so interesting. I haven't had a love reading like this in a while. Ace of Cups is clarifying the Eight of Cups. You know, there are a couple things there. Firstly, it means that you could walk away from your current situation and you could find someone. Okay? Now the Eight of Cups is clarifying the Eight of Wands. It's sort of like breakthroughs and exiting. So I wanted to clarify this more. We get the other marriage card here, or one of the other marriage cards. Four of Wands, Hierophant. So one of the two of you are interested in something very, very serious. Maybe both of you are. And I think there is some analysis paralysis or just some, like, really, like, you're giving this heavy thought. You're giving this heavy thought. I will say that while there isn't, like, traditional breakup energy, there is walking away energy. Okay, so whether this means walking away and walking towards this person, like walking away from what you're doing and walking towards this person or otherwise, that is on the table for some of you, okay? You then have the Magician. This is about communication. Magician represents Mercury, but the Magician also says you can manifest whatever it is that you want. Something going on here with the Seven of Swords and the Moon, okay? Be careful. If you have a vibe about something or someone, trust that, okay? As you have this idea, like all of these oracle cards saying trust what you know, follow your intuition, you already know the answer. If you have a vibe about something or someone, trust that. Big time. On the bottom, you have the Nine of Cups. There's major wish fulfillment here. There's actually huge happiness available for you. It's almost like what I want to tell you to do is take that leap, take that first step, and everything will fall into place for you, Libra. Let's go ahead and see what is in the Kipper cards. Let's see what's in the Kipper energies for you here, Libra. Okay, you have sudden wealth, bad health, marriage, poverty, community, and official person. What is going on? There's this interesting marriage timeline. 3 marriage cards now. But, you know, I don't see the Ten of Cups. I mean, I do see new beginning. Maybe you feel like this could lead to marriage or something along these lines. Maybe you're getting cold feet and you're like, oh, whoa, I don't know if I'm ready for all of that. Something like this, okay? Something like this here is happening. There is, with the community card and the Two of Cups, there is something involving another person or a group of people here around your work situation. I like the sudden wealth energy for you. I think this is just speaking to surprise. You know, somebody may just surprise you here in this month, like especially in the relationship end. Like, whoa, I didn't know they felt that way or whatever. I like sudden wealth in the Tower. That could be very positive. All right, this is what I have here for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.